It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, it was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness, it was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity, it was the season of light, it was the season of darkness, it was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. No one is useless in this world who lightens the burdens of another. Have a heart that never hardens, and a temper that never tires, and a touch that never hurts. The most important thing in life is to stop saying, I wish, and start saying, I will. Consider nothing impossible, then treat possibilities as probabilities. A loving heart is the truest wisdom. There is a wisdom of the head, and a wisdom of the heart. Procrastination is the thief of time. I have been bent and broken, but, I hope, into a better shape. Happiness is a gift, and the trick is not to expect it, but to delight in it when it comes. We forge the chains we wear in life. The pain of parting is nothing to the joy of meeting again. You can never make the same mistake twice. The second time you make it, it's no longer a mistake. It's a choice. Suffering has been stronger than all other teaching, and has taught me to understand what your heart used to be. I have been bent and broken, but, I hope, into a better shape. There are dark shadows on the earth, but its lights are stronger in the contrast. It is a fair, even-handed, noble adjustment of things, that while there is infection in disease and sorrow, there is nothing in the world so irresistibly contagious as laughter and good humor. Never close your lips to those to whom you have opened your heart. To conceal anything from those to whom I am attached, is not in my nature. I can never close my lips where I have opened my heart. Electric communication will never be a substitute for the face of someone who with their soul encourages another person to be brave and true. The world belongs to those who set out to conquer it armed with self-confidence and good humor. No one who can read, ever looks at a book, even unopened on a shelf, like one who cannot. A day wasted on others is not wasted on oneself. There is nothing in the world so irresistibly contagious as laughter and good humor. It is not possible to know how far the influence of any amiable, honest-hearted, duty-doing man flies out into the world, but it is very certain that far beyond those who know him, it goes like light and air, spreading goodness. Every traveler has a home of his own, and he learns to appreciate it the more from his wandering. My advice is to never do tomorrow what you can do today. Procrastination is the thief of time. The whole difference between construction and creation is exactly this, that a thing constructed can only be loved after it is constructed, but a thing created is loved before it exists. Minds, like bodies, will often fall into a pimpled, ill-conditioned state from mere excessive comfort. There is a man who would give his life to keep a life you love beside you. The first rule of business is, do other men for they would do you. It is a melancholy truth that even great men have their poor relations. I hope that real love and truth are stronger in the end than any evil or misfortune in the world. We need never be ashamed of our tears. The broken heart, you think you will die, but you just keep living, day after terrible day. Love, though said to be afflicted with blindness, is a vigilant watchman. Regrets are the natural property of gray hairs. If there were no bad people, there would be no good lawyers. It was one of those March days when the sun shines hot and the wind blows cold, when it is summer in the light, and winter in the shade. The best way to lengthen out our days is to walk steadily and with a purpose. There are only two styles of portrait painting, the serious and the smirk. Men's courses will foreshadow certain ends, to which, if persevered in, they must lead, but if the courses be departed from, the ends will change. Subdue your appetites, my dears, and you've conquered human nature. There is a passion for hunting something deeply implanted in the human breast. I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link, and yard by yard. The civility which money will purchase, is rarely extended to those who have none. It's in vain to recall the past, unless it works some influence upon the present. The worst of all listeners is the man who does nothing but listen. Remembrance, like a candle, burns brightest at Christmas time. It was always said of him, that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. The dreams of childhood, its airy fables, its graceful, beautiful, humane, impossible adornments of the world beyond, will hardly be found by those who have forgotten their childhood. Fan the sinking flame of hilarity with the wing of friendship, and pass the rosy wine. Do all the good you can, and make as little fuss about it as possible. A word in earnest is as good as a speech. Whatever I have tried to do in life, I have tried with all my heart to do well. There is nothing so strong or safe in an emergency of life as the simple truth. There is a magic in long-distance friendships. They let us relate to another human being in a way that goes beyond being physically together and is often more profound. Charity begins at home, and justice begins next door. An idea, like a ghost, must be spoken to a little before it will explain itself. There is nothing better than a friend, unless it is a friend with chocolate. The world has narrowed to a neighborhood before it has broadened to a brotherhood. I wish you to know that you have been the last dream of my soul. Dreams are like paper, they tear so easily. I see a beautiful city and a brilliant people rising from this abyss. It is a far, far better thing that I do, than I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest that I go to than I have ever known. Change begets change. Nothing propagates so fast. There is nothing more attractive than a touch of magic in things. Perhaps when we wake up, we will find that we're all one person. All good things must come to an end, but all bad things can continue forever. Life is made of ever so many partings welded together.